Hello and welcome, my farming leaves. Farming simulations are a very niche genre. You could say that 20 years ago. Nowadays, they are much more mainstream, you could say. Cornucopia is one of these, and, well, today we are going to have a look at how this farming simulation fares. Let's go. Well, like it is typical for every game nowadays, you of course have a character creator. And, well, let's see what I will create here. Okay, and thus my character, Rief, from the Shiki farm, is created. So, finally let's get into the game. Well, and surprisingly, with the first bit of story, apparently I am frozen solid, which is like, huh? What happened to me? Oh well, these people are going to help me, so I guess that's fine. Graphically, the game is really beautiful. I mean, just look at the scene. It looks pretty nice. Also, the music really reminds me of the old Harvest Moons, like the Super Nintendo one, especially, which that's a pro in my book. And then we get into the tutorial section, where we are facing a tad bit of a little problem. You see, I am playing this with a PS5 controller, which, okay, granted, you don't have a layout for a PS5 controller, but the Xbox controller is very much the standard you play games with. And this game has controller support, but the tutorial is all about the mouse. So, knowing which button to press, yeah, that I have to figure out myself. I don't enjoy playing games like these with mouse and keyboard, so that's a bit of a problem. Other than that, this tutorial isn't all that bad, because it shows you what to do, and right after that, you have to do exactly that. Okay, what I said about the tutorial area is not quite true, because once you get into the controls in the tutorial area, it does show you the controller in the upper corner. But, like, reading it first makes it a bit weird still. Also, those buttons I have to press on the keyboard, they aren't explained yet to me, only how I use tools and move around and stuff, so we will see. One nice thing about this game, as it utilizes the 3D aesthetics of it, while it still is a 2D game, is that you can actually play around with the camera. You have to do this in the menu though, but it's a nice option to have. So yeah, change it however you like. You can see it in the background how it changes, and that's just pretty nice. So find the zoom that fits for you, as well as the tilt, and then go on. And as we finally get into the meat and potatoes of it, we receive our farm. And it looks abominable, as they always do in these games. So let's start with a bit of cleanup, I guess, and see what lies underneath this. Okay, so we have cleaned up the farm just a bit, because you are running out of energy, and also placed a furnace, which we now can use to refine our stuff. So let's try that out. But now that we have these stones in there going, we gotta do something else. Actually plant stuff. Which, how often do I have to hit? Okay, I guess tilting is a bit weird in this game. You have to be very careful what you do. And, well, glad we also have some seeds. Let's plant all the seeds we have. And then, that's our first day, so time to go to bed. And so the dog can talk. Which is like... Huh? One thing we also get is a pack of cards, and that is kind of interesting. I just couldn't figure out which button to press to open this pack. Yes, it says press the F key, but like... If I would play this on my TV via Steam Link, I don't have a keyboard with me, so... No button on the controller is a bit weird, but let's see what it is. We got a crafting quest card. No explanation for that? Well, there is another pack of cards we have. Press left trigger plus D-pad left to... What? That is... That is very weird, but okay. Cornucopia of Abundance. Something. Something happened just now. That text was way too fast. But oh well, we got stuff, and I have no idea where stuff is. Yeah, well. There is that. You can move your mouse with the D-pad or the right stick though, so I guess that's good. We need to gather 12 logs. Well, that's easy. So, we fulfilled that quest. What now? Nothing. Well, I guess it's a tutorial. Now we have to place the saw. Oh, we got the saw. I see, I see. Now we can place it. I guess we'll just place it there. That's a good place to be. And now, I guess we have to process 4 logs. Which brings us back to the problem of how to place those there. Let me put them in. I mean, one thing you can do is just use your mouse and drag and drop them on it. But that, like, is not a good solution to you wanting to use a controller. But I guess this is what we gotta live with for now. Yeah, and again, trying to repair the shipping bin, which is a tutorial mission, involves you to use the mouse, which is sadly a bit unfortunate. But what can you really do? Also, with the repaired shipping bin, I found a different problem. Maybe I'm just not getting it, but the game surely doesn't explain it. But I can only take a whole stack of something and place it in there. Which is a bit bad. What if I want to keep some of it? Not everything, but just some of it. And that's it. I really can't? Okay, I guess you cannot do it from the shipping bin menu, but you have to be outside of the menu. Though, it always puts them in at intervals of 2, which is really weird. But, well, I guess this game is in an early access state, so there is some polishing that can be done here. Just a little thing I saw here right now. You can breed your pets. Or, well, cattle, I guess. Which is pretty normal for a game like this. But what you need for it is feeding nuts. You gotta feed them nuts to breed them. Also, this tutorial comes in long before I even have one of those cow thingies. Will I remember once I get enough so that I can breed? I'm not sure. So, I'd rather do the tutorials when the time has come for you to actually be able to use them, I would say, but oh well. And now I am facing a bit of a problem, actually. Which, yeah, so, you see, I do place this bin, which is our tutorial thing. We need to compost grass fibers. which we have selected here. But once I try to put them in, for some reason my character goes on destroying the compass bin instead. Which is a bit of a problem. I am not sure why he's doing that. But it won't let me progress with that. So I am very unsure what to do here, actually. If that is the case, because I know what I have to do to continue the game. But like this I can't. And he does it for everything I touch now, which that does run me a bit into a problem here. Oh well, I guess we have the farming figured out a bit, so let's see how social life in this game works out. Okay, before we figure out the social life though, for some reason the problem I had with the destroying is fixed now. So I guess that's good. Now, let's go to town. Though before we actually arrive at the town, a copper comes to us. Okay, that's interesting. So we have mystical creatures. I don't mind that. Actually, I do like that a lot. And his name is Cutie, which, if you don't know, which you probably don't, is Japanese for cucumber. Because coppers like cucumbers. Yeah, look it up. It's the whole thing. Okay, I finally found the town, but I gotta say, while the graphics are nice, the town being this straight line of buildings is a bit weird at first. Yes, you can enter other places by going into a wall for some reason, but it's still a bit weirdly built. The main town is that straight line, so I'm not much of a fan of that, especially as you can do so much more with this graphical style. But well, let's talk to some people. Well, if we can find some people. The church is empty, but I guess it is 2024 after all. And then we try this restaurant. It's closed. Well, next building. The town hall. Surely some kind of mayor's here or something. Aha, hello there. The thing I do like is that if you talk to the people over and over, they say different things. Nothing really important, as you can see, but still, that's a nice thing to add. Also, there are events all around the corner. Like, everywhere I have gone, something triggered. Like with the copper earlier, and there was that one girl who was spying on something, and her, well, foot got stuck in the bridge, so I helped her out. And then we have these two flirting, I guess. I do like his hair, though. I wish I could have a hairstyle like that, but that sadly wasn't an option. All in all, I like that you have a big, but not too big cast of characters in the game that also have very different personalities, which is a good thing. The real problem with it, though, is that everything is a bit huge in scale, which usually I would say is good. However, it takes you very long to find someone, and, well, in games like these, you're always on a timer after all, so maybe the town being a bit smaller, or the people being in different places or something to encounter them more would help, but that's just a slight complaint. Also, you can talk to Pickle the cat. One thing that I do like on paper, but it's just a lot to take in, is the different soils you can see here. if that tutorial didn't pop up. You see, the thing about it is that different kinds of plants like different kinds of soils. And there are at least 4 soil types you have to keep awareness of in regards to which plant likes which soil, which can be very overwhelming. And while I don't want my farming sims to be too simple, I think overcomplicating them also is not a good idea. Keep things like the soil simple and don't make it as random as it is here, because I don't really have a choice what comes up once I tilt the ground. It's just what's there. If I could decide which soil is where, I could make like a 3x3 patch of sand soil here, a 3x3 patch of silt soil here, stuff like that, so I can micromanage that much better. I would prefer that. Or just don't make different soils. I'm not so sure about that, to be quite honest. In the end, Cornucopia isn't a bad game. It just has some problems. Like I mentioned, it is an early access game, but there are some things I really hope they will change. First off, the usage of the controller should be much better. I had to use the mouse for some things as well as the keyboard. And yes, you can move around the mouse with your right stick, though it's a bit clunky. It plays like it's an MMORPG while not being an MMORPG, and I don't see the need for that. So maybe working on that. Also, little errors like I had with that compass bin, they can be game breaking. Gladly it was fixed by sleeping, but basically I lost a whole day of the game, which is not good because days in farming simulations are very precious, especially as seasons can change and everything. One thing I also have to say is that it might be a bit too convoluted, but that's more of an opinion. You might like this, you might not. But there are things like those cards, I did not really get what they are there for, but you get those cards all the time. Then the quests basically stockpile, which this early in the beginning of the game, when I still try to get the hang of how everything works, is not that good of an idea. And the amount of events, while I like that, I hope it doesn't suffer from event overloading syndrome. As in, you get a ton of events in the beginning, but then you got most of the events already, and most of the game, nothing really happens. So maybe limit the events a bit or something along those lines. Would I recommend Cornucopia? I would say check out a demo if there is any, which I don't think there is. So I am not sure if I would recommend it. To be quite honest here, there are other farming simulations I would rather recommend. Like Fae Farm, for example. Or, well, the Story of Seasons games are solid. They are the big ones, I know. And if you're looking for something more indie or 2D, maybe it's worth checking out. But all in all, I think there's much potential here, but it still needs to be polished a lot. Now, did you check your mailbox perchance? Because in there you can find something. As in the like and subscribe button as well as that little bell. So please click on those. It supports me without you having any kind of cost to it. So I would really appreciate that. And check out the links down in the description below. There will be a link to Cornucopia on Steam there, as well as links to my Twitch, Instagram, Discord, and Twitter. On Twitch, I live stream every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So I hope to see you over there as well. And until next time, bye-bye.